Hi guys, this is Buska, and welcome back to another video. Sorry for the inactivity on the channel. I've just been a little busy. Well, not a little. I've actually been really busy, so I apologize for the inactivity. There's been quite a few inactivity throughout the channel over the years, but I'll try to post more often. Yeah. But this video is going to be a little different. I honestly decided just recently to do videos like these. So this video is today is going to be based on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they announced the 2021 nominees. I know I'm a little late. They announced it a week or two ago, and the current votes or the people are voting now, and there's been I think a little over 1 million people that voted for certain artists. And there, as usual, there's 16 nominees and only five need to get inducted. From what I remember watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, uh, in past years. And for these nominees, I'm just gonna say whether if I think they should get inducted or whether I don't think they should get inducted. And this is all my opinion. So I'm just gonna read the list. And when I read this list, it was usual what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame usually did. They would induct acts that aren't necessarily rock and roll. I've seen a lot of rap. I've seen a lot of rhythm and blues. I've seen a lot of folk. So I've seen stuff like that. But this is the 2021 nominees. So it says the following 16 nominees for the 2021 class of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame were announced on February 10th, 2021, so 11 days ago now. The inductees will be announced in May. So usually the inductees or the nominees were announced in they get announced late of last year or something like that. And then they would get announced in January, but due to the pandemic, and there was people that got inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they didn't have an induction ceremony, obviously because of COVID. So here's the list. This is the list for 2021 for this year. So we got Mary J. Blige, Kate Bush, Devo, Foo Fighters, Go-Go's, Iron Maiden, Jay-Z, Shaka Khan, Carole King, Fela Kuti, I think that's how you pronounce it, LL Cool J, the New York Dolls, Rage Against the Machine, Todd Rundgren, Tina Turner, and Dionne Warwick. So those are the 16 acts that got nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the reason why you to get inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you need to be around for at least 25 years. You need to sell a lot of albums. You need to sell million. I guess a lot of albums. I don't know about million, but a lot. You need to have a lot of famous and well-known singles. Something of that criteria, from what I understand. So I'm going to see whether I think they should get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or not. So for Mary J. Blige, to be honest, I understand the influence of Mary J. Blige. She's really talented. I wouldn't really say she's rock. I would say she's more so, R&B, rhythm and blues, that kind of stuff. I have a feeling she may get in. I don't know about this year. It could be one of these years if she gets nominated again, because, there are quite a few acts on this list that have been nominated multiple times. But yeah, I would say Mary J. Blige is more, R&B instead of rock. But she does have a chance. Kate Bush. The thing is with Kate Bush, she wasn't really famous in America. She was more famous in Europe. She has a lot of talent. To be honest, I don't know if she will get inducted. I mean, it depends. I don't know. If you vote for her a lot, if you vote for her a lot, that doesn't make sense. If a lot of people vote for her, she may have a chance. But I did see people currently voting, and the top five is in there. There are the top five, and then there's everyone else with the votes. So for Kate Bush, I mean, I don't know. It depends. It depends on what you think. Okay, so for Devo, I personally really admire Devo. I always thought they were kind of funny. I love their hits. I love Whip It. I love so many of their other songs. But here's the thing with Devo. They were nominated previously. I believe it was 2019 or something like that. Personally, I would like to see Devo get in, but I don't think they're going to get inducted. It's probably not going to happen. Um, because they're more so of a novelty act, and I don't mean that as a bad thing. Because I actually kind of like Devo, but to be honest, they're probably not going to get in to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm looking at this what I've seen before in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They don't novelty acts, and also the Hall doesn't like to induct progressive rock or heavy metal acts a lot. But it has happened in the past. Rush got inducted. Yes got inducted a few years ago. Genesis got inducted. Pink Floyd got inducted. Pink Floyd got inducted really early on. So I'm glad they did. But yeah, but Devo, novelty acts. I haven't really seen a lot of novelty acts on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But yeah, Devo's probably not going to get in. But personally, I would really like to see Devo get in. Foo Fighters, absolutely, they should get in. I think this year is the 25th anniversary, so they're kind of recent, but man, the Foo Fighters are phenomenal. I love them a lot. So I think they do deserve to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They're such amazing musicians. Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl got in with Nirvana a few years ago. What wasn't a few years ago? It was quite a while ago. Actually, no, it was a few years ago, but it feels like forever because we're still in the pandemic. But Dave Grohl got in with Nirvana, so he probably has a chance with the Foo Fighters. So the Foo Fighters probably will get in. I have a feeling, and I would like them to get in personally. The Go-Go's, absolutely. They should have gotten in years ago. And, same thing with many other people on this list. There's so many people on this list that should have been inducted years ago. And the Go-Go's are one of them. They're one of the best all-female bands of all time, and I love their hits. We got the beat, Our Lips Are Sealed, Vacation, and their debut album sold a lot, and they just had the documentary no, recently. So I think the Go-Go's are really badass. They're really awesome. One of the more influential new wave bands of all time, along with the Police. So yeah, I think the Go-Go's should get in. They're really influential. Iron Maiden, I know. So for Iron Maiden, I'm a big Maiden fan. I really like them a lot. But to be honest, I don't know if they will get in. I'd be really happy if they get in, though. Um, One of the best heavy metal bands throughout the 80s. And you know what's weird? They had Judas Priest in one year, and then they didn't get they didn't get inducted. And they had Iron Maiden the next year, they didn't get inducted. And then they just had Judas Priest nominated last year, but they didn't get inducted. I would honestly put Priest ahead of Maiden for me. But if Maiden gets in, I'll be really happy. And I really want Judas Priest to get nominated. I really want Judas Priest to get inducted because, I mean, they had so many singles, but for Iron Maiden, they had a lot of singles, so many, there's Run to the Hills, 2 Minutes to Midnight, Flight of Icarus. There's so many amazing hits. Wrathchild, there's a lot of amazing hits that they released. So I think Iron Maiden should get in, and they have so many amazing albums. Number of the Beast, Power Slave, Peace of Mind, Killers, the debut album, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Somewhere in Time. A lot of those classic 80s albums, early 80s albums. Yeah, I think Maiden should get in. It's about time for them to get in. Jay-Z, I know they've inducted a lot of rappers into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because rap isn't rock and roll, in my opinion. But there are some rappers that I love who got in, and I'm not just a rock fan. I do like a lot of rap. I love Beastie Boys. I love Run DMC, De La Soul. I love the old school rap. Jay-Z, I understand the influence. I mean, the guy's a billionaire. He sold a lot of albums. Um, he's probably going to get inducted. I have a feeling. And yeah, he sold a lot of records. Same thing with Beyonce too. I mean, and they're now married too. Well, not now. They married years ago, but Jay Z does have a chance. I don't know if I would put rappers into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I do understand the influence. I know Gene Simmons has that thing again. He's taking rock and roll seriously or literally, so he wouldn't induct rappers into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know if he likes rap music. He just doesn't think they deserve the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But for Jay Z, he does have a chance. Shaka Khan, you know, I think Shaka Khan and Rufus and Shaka Khan got inducted, or not inducted, they got nominated a few years ago. I don't know if they got inducted. But Shaka Khan, I don't know if I would call her rock per se, but she is really influential. I understand the influence. You know, she had a lot of singles. You know, I'm Every Woman. There's so many singles that she made or that she released. So she does have a chance, but I don't know if she'll get in. So I don't know. It's just my opinion. Okay, here's one that should have gotten inducted years ago. Carole King. I don't know why they've been waiting. I don't know why she doesn't deserve to wait all these years. Carole King is one of the best songwriters, one of the best albums of all time is Tapestry. That's one of the best selling albums of all time, and one of the most influential albums of all time. She released so many singles, so I have a feeling she's going to get in. I would honestly really consider Carole King. Here's one that I've never heard of until recently. I've heard of the name, I just never heard of this guy, Fela Kuti. You know, honestly, I never even heard of the guy. I heard, and then I did some research. As a matter of fact, let me look. Yeah, he was a Nigerian multi instrumentalist. He was a band leader, composer. So yeah, he was more of a big band guy. So I honestly don't know if he'll get in, but I did see the votes, and well, I'll talk about the votes later on. And this is just for today. But yeah, Fela Kuti, I honestly don't think he'll get in, but I have heard of the name. I honestly haven't heard of any of his music, so after this video, I'm probably gonna listen to some of his music. But yeah, Fela Kuti, again, I honestly don't know a lot about him, so I have a feeling maybe not. But I don't know. And we have to wait until May until the inductees are announced. So you have until April 30th to vote. LL Cool J, again, kind of the same thing with Jay Z. He's more rap than rock and roll, but I do understand the influence. I'd probably put LL Cool J before Jay Z. That's just my opinion. Because I really like LL Cool J. He's a really good actor. You know, obviously he hasn't put out a lot of music in a while because he's more of an actor nowadays. But LL Cool J is probably going to get LL Cool J and Jay Z probably have a chance, but I don't know. It's all up to the voters. I was honestly thinking of voting, but I had to create an account to submit, so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that. So LL Cool J, he does have a chance. He probably will get in. Rappers usually do get in if they're nominated. They usually get inducted. Uh, the New York Dolls. So New York Dolls, they're one of the originators of punk, along with the Stooges and MC5. You know, a lot of those bands. If I remember correctly, I think one of the members died last year, or something like that. Oh yeah, Sylvain. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if I am. He would have been 70 this month. Yeah, he passed away earlier this year. The New York Dolls, I do understand the influence there, punk, so they do have a chance. They do have a chance of getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rage Against the Machine. Rage Against the Machine have been nominated a lot. I honestly think they really should get in. I don't know if they're going to get in this year. They should get in at some point because I really like Rage Against the Machine. Their debut album is amazing. A lot. I love some of my favorite. I love Killing in the Name, Bullet in the Head. So many favorites of mine from Rage Against the Machine. So yeah, I do think they should get in. And amazing musicians too. An amazing lineup too. Tim Comerford, Jack De La Rocha, Tom Morello, and Brad Wilk. You got a great lineup there. And I guess you could say one of the originators of rap metal. I guess you can say that. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Rage Against the Machine is a great band. So I would induct them. I don't know if it'll happen though. Todd Rundgren. Todd Rundgren's been nominated quite a few times. Instead of nominating him a lot, I think he really should get in. He's pretty underrated. He's pretty influential. He produces a lot of stuff. He produced some of the best albums of all time. And he's a great songwriter. He's a really great musician. So I honestly think he should get in. But I don't know if it'll happen because chances are he's probably going to get nominated so many times. So I don't know if that'll happen. But Todd Rundgren. Let me try that again. Todd Rundgren. He should probably get in. Another, along with Carole King, one that should have been nominated years ago, Tina Turner. She should have been nominated, or not nominated. She should have been inducted years ago. I think she's in with Ike and Tina Turner, but as for her solo stuff, she really should get in. She's really influential. Along with Carole King, but yeah, I honestly think she should get in. I don't know if it'll happen, but I did look at the votes, and she is getting a lot of votes. So for Tina Turner, yeah, she probably should get in. And last on the list, Dionne Warwick. I probably wouldn't, along with another others, Mary J. Blige. I probably wouldn't call her rock. She's more what is she more? She's more yeah, she's more R&B and soul. She's more so that. But again, I understand the influence, but I don't know if she'll get in. So yeah, that's the list. If I were to induct five, it would be Foo Fighters, the Go-Go's, Iron Maiden, uh, Carole King, and Tina Turner. Probably those five. Although I really feel bad of not including Rage Against the Machine and Todd Rundgren. But hey, if you're only going to narrow it down to five, it's more difficult. Um, and I was going to hold on. I lost the place. There are the nominees. The current votes are up, or a lot of people are voting, and the top five. So the top five, honestly, similar to mine, that I would induct, but with the exception of one. So I'm going to go from 5 to 1, and this is right now, so they can obviously change until April 30th. So in fifth place with almost 89,000 votes, Carole King. Uh, in fourth place with 95,000, almost 96,000 votes, Iron Maiden. In third place with 107,000 votes, a little over 107,000 votes, Foo Fighters. In second place with 143,000, almost 144,000 votes, Tina Turner. And in first place, I never thought this one would get first place with almost 160,000 votes, Fela Kuti. Yeah, Fela Kuti. I've never even heard the guy, and he's got first place. And from six to the bottom, it goes the Go-Go, so they're really close. They're actually really close to Carole King. Rage Against the Machine, Dionne Warwick, Todd Rundgren, Shaka Khan, Devo, Mary J. Blige, Jay-Z, LL Cool J, New York Dolls, and Kate Bush. And a little over 1.2 million people have voted. So that's today. Let me know in the comments below what five people, or what five acts you want inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know when the induction ceremony will be. They didn't even do last year. So, and last year's, if I can remember, they inducted Whitney Houston, Notorious B.I.G., who else? Depeche Mode, Nine Inch Nails, T-Rex, and Doobie Brothers. So they inducted 6 people last year, and they didn't do a ceremony yet. So I wonder if they're probably going to do that this year, and maybe this year, I don't know, it's probably going to be virtual, because usually the ceremony's in April, but I remember last year in April, that's when COVID was really getting bad, but it came in America in March of 2020, so that's really where it got worse. So yeah, that's hard to believe that it'll almost be a year, because February is almost over. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is just my take on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, let me know what you think, what five acts you think should get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In any case, please leave a like, comment if you want, view my videos, and of course subscribe. Ring the bell also. Also follow us on Instagram, because we have a channel, or we have an account of the Halbuska YouTube channel. I'll probably notify people on Instagram that I am going to be uploading this video, probably today. This has been Halbuska, signing off. Stay safe, take care, have a good one.